Good morning, Frank Watkins, 18th of October 2021, and good morning, Kylie.
Good morning, Frank. Good morning, everyone.
Bit of a lacklustre start to the week, given that we've had the Dow up nearly 900 points in the last two trading sessions, and we are battling to do anything. Anyway, the purpose of this is not necessarily to discuss the Dow Jones. What I want to do today is a Heiken-Ashi scan. For those that don't know the Heiken-Ashi format, I suggest you go to investopedia.com.au and have a little bit of a read on Heiken-Ashi. I have set my scan period to 13 days, which is a Fibonacci number. So basically I'm asking the computer to find me stocks where they've either been red for 13 days going down, or the candles have been green for 13 days going up. Now, the first stock that comes up is AR3, and what I'm actually looking for is this period here, and we now have a green tick. Bearing in mind, actually, I'll just put today's data on. We have another green tick. I'll turn it off again. So to my mind, having spotted this as at the 15th, the thought that I'd have is to buy it on the open today with stops nice and tight under here. So if we did that, the open today was, let's go with 90 cents. As at the close of this 1 hourly tick, we're at 91.5, but my stop would be probably under yesterday's candle. I'll just turn off again. So the low was 88.5. I'd have been buying the open, which was 90 cents, with a stop at, go with 88 cents. So only a 2 cent risk to find out whether this has bottomed out or not. Let's just have a look at another one or two before I hand over to Kylie. There's another interesting one. Again, that's Friday's close. So if you were going to go into that, you'd buy the open today with stops probably under Friday's close. Keep it tight on this stuff because you're going totally against the trend. And once again, we have a bit of a rally. So there's sort of 2 out of 2 in the early days. But over to you, Kylie.
Thanks, Frank. I'm going to keep going back to the same scan that I've been doing, mainly because Frank likes to do different scans so we can see what's happening, but by sticking to the same scan that I do, you can get a bit of an idea of what's moving and what isn't, what keeps coming up. So I always tend to do a different scan each day, but the same scans as well. So just sort of throw that into the mix of how you perhaps approach this. Again, I'm looking at 50 cents to $4. We're ignoring results that are value less than 250,000, and we're ignoring volume less than 1 million. Daily data. Okay, we get 19. I'm just going to change this back to a candle chart. That's a nice little gap up today. We'll leave that one alone for now. Oh, another gap up today. It's interesting. We'll leave that one alone. I do like this. I'm really liking this sideways move and the start of the kick in volume and OBV. It has done a lot, sitting around $1. I believe this one is actually in a trading hold today, pending an announcement to do with this ASX query. So it'd be interesting to watch this. I'd like it to sit along $1 for a while and get another buy signal to look into perhaps that, because you've sort of got this gap here. So it's one to put on your watch list. EML looks terrible. HZR, this keeps coming up. This is exactly what I was talking about. It's done a lot. It's moving sideways. This could be, I mean, it's only been 3 days, so it's not a long sideways move. But again, keep an eye on it. Wait for a buy signal. This is an interesting day. I still think it might bounce around the $1.40 for a while, which would be ideal, with a buy at around $1.45. So that's one to keep an eye on. ICQ, yeah. See, this is a really lovely format. This is what we look for. This is a bit gappy. It's not a great looking chart, so I probably wouldn't spend too much time on it.
Almost looks takeover-ish or something.
Yeah.
From July to October, totally sideways.
Yeah.
I think if it's not takeover activity, when it does break, it should break fairly hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Get down, yuck. Move on. Yeah, it's okay. Seen better. Another takeover one for sure. This is okay. Again, it's pretty rough, but this is an interesting formation here. We're seeing that a bit, high highs, high lows. It's around the dollar level, which would be significance. You may get 10 cents out of it, or even just up to this gap. Not a big trade. You've got to look at where your stop would be. So it's not excellent. You're risking as much as you would be your reward. Oh, and there's 2.52 billion. Okay, move on. That's as rough. The only thing that puts me off this is this is just a real dive here. So this has got a bit of work to do. Move on. $1.20 can hang around here for a while. Needs another entry. There's no entry at the moment on that. S32, we've been talking about this one. That was your buy here. We're now waiting for another buy signal on that, around the $4 mark. You've got this gap which looks enticing, but again, you need an entry. You could argue that's your break here, but it's already done so much work. You'd expect a bit of a pullback. High, low. Perfect, yep. Gap up, leave that alone. Now, I saw this morning as well. That volume there was to me an off-market transfer. 2 million went through at 18.5 cents, $1.85 at the market open. So that's probably a bit of an insignificant kind of indication here. So it's holding above 2, but nothing really exciting. And that's a nothing either. So there's a couple in there to look at. Keep an eye on.
Yep. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Touch wood. Talk to you tomorrow.
See you later.
Cheers.